prior to the Duke game, tell me what you thought about the game, what kind of game you thought it would be.
I thought it was one of those games where everybody would see the Louisville team that we've become, honestly. I felt like we were missing pieces early in the year, and we weren't as good without Gorgie, and we weren't progressing how we were now. And we really look forward to playing Duke again. You know, they gave us a loss earlier in the season, and it was a big game for Coach P, you know, because last time he played Coach K in NCAA tournament, the results wasn't so good, you know. So Coach P really stuck out, well, put it out there earlier before the game even started how he really wanted this win, and I just felt like we were going to go out there and do everything we could possibly do to get the win.
Now, wait a minute. I thought that you guys didn't. I thought the coaches didn't pay attention to any of that stuff.
You know, Coach P's not going to tell us like ahead of time, well, beforehand, like how he really feels. But you know, that's just one of the things where you lose a game like that. That's gonna always be on your mind, honestly, especially a coach like that.
Your role on the team, Coach Pitino has described it as they've been going up, up, up. So, what did you expect your role to be in the Duke game prior to the game?
I feel like I could attack their bigs, honestly. I felt like ever since my suspension earlier in the year, Coach P has really gave me the confidence in myself to really just want to go out there and perform how I need to perform. And this has been the best tournament I've ever played, you know, and the results didn't come out how I wanted to, but everything happens for a reason, you know, and that's just all I can really say about it, honestly.
You were playing great, though. I mean, you'd gotten off to a good start. You had a bucket, had a free throw, or you had a steal.
You know,
how'd you feel about the way you were playing?
Kind of felt like I got the steal, and then I got the and-one play, and I kind of felt like, all right, yeah, this is what's going to get me going, you know. And it was crazy because if you look back on the Duke game, I closed out on the same player, the same way on the opposite side of the court, and he made the shot. So me closing out on the same player, the exact same way, and the results that came about, you know, it was shocking, honestly, and it was just one of those things where I couldn't believe it, honestly. I honestly didn't feel pain. It was more so a shock. Like I've never felt like anything like that in my life, you know.
When you were closing out on him, how you made the comparison to the earlier time, and how does that closeout compare to the thousands of times you've done it in games or practice or any other time?
Talking to my peers and my stepdad, he basically was just telling me when I closed out, I had no idea where I was going to land, you know. He was like, I jumped so high and kind of looked back to see if the shot went in. I had no idea where my foot was going to land. So me just thinking like, oh, I always do this a million times, you know. I never thought that when I looked down at my leg, it'd be broke, you know. And it was just, it was crazy, honestly.
When you were lying there, when did you realize that your leg was broken?
Honestly, I thought it was just like my ankle or something, you know. And Coach P kind of like gave it away, you know. He went to help me up, and he kind of glanced at my leg, and his eyes just got huge. So I'm looking at Coach P like, what's wrong with him, you know? And I kind of looked down at my leg, and it's just automatic shock. And looking at the guys around me, like Russ and Shane, and all those guys just started crying. Like it was just something in me. Like I had to pull out like a magic trick, you know? Because if I wouldn't have said what I said, you know, just me being myself and telling them, like, I'm going to be fine, you know, I really don't think we would be in the Final Four. I really don't. That's how I really feel.
What do you remember about your teammates' reaction?
I remember Russ's face. Russ looked like he just saw a ghost. Shane just broke down in tears. Montrez and Wayne hit the ground, you know. I remember our assistant coach, Kevin Keats, he just kind of like grimaced and looked away. And my reaction to it was, how is this possible? Like I didn't see myself really putting myself in a situation where I thought I would be able to break my leg, you know. But it's just one of those things where if it was going to happen, it was supposed to happen, and it happened, you know.
You mentioned that you felt like if you hadn't said the things you did, you hadn't responded the way you did, you guys wouldn't have made the Final Four. You're a pretty quiet guy.
Very quiet.
Where did that come from? What do you think motivated you, made you feel like you had to talk to your guys before you left?
Seeing Luke rushed over there to me, honestly, and he was just like, Kevin, calm down, and I'm going to say a prayer for you. And while he's saying his prayer in his head, like, it's either I'm going to start crying while he's saying his prayer, I'm just looking at Russ, I'm looking at Shane and everybody, and they're just breaking down. So I'm like, nah, you could just hold these tears in for a little while longer, you know. And that's exactly what I did. And Coach P was right there. I'm looking him dead in his eyes. I said it probably 15 times, like, Coach, I'm going to be good. You just got to win this game. And as I kept saying it, he called the guys over there, and I'm pulling on their jerseys, and everybody's starting to take in what I was really saying, and I was fine. Once I heard them yelling Kevin, and I hear I'm going out the arena, and I'm hearing the crowd applauding, and they're getting back into the game, like, yeah, it would be fine, you know. And after my surgery, it was kind of like I didn't know, like, that Coach was there, because I guess the medication and everything had me so out of it. Like, I really didn't know he was there, and I looked over to my left and kind of like, is that the trophy, you know? And it just brought tears to my eyes, honestly, and it was one of the greatest feelings in my life.
After that moment, when you kind of pulled the guys together, and then they're taking you out of the arena, what was your biggest concern at that point?
I just wanted to know that we was going to win this game, honestly. That was the only thing going through my head. I honestly wasn't concerned about the injury. I kind of felt like if that was the last time I played basketball, I left my mark, you know. And it was tough, honestly. And I just got some great brothers, honestly, and they played their hearts out the second half, you know. And
what did it mean to you to wake up and see that trophy there?
Honestly, it meant everything to me, you know. They went out there and did that for me, you know. And I just, it's words can't explain, you know. I love those guys to death, you know. I wouldn't trade them in for the world. Those are the brothers I never had. And I just keep telling them, the job ain't done yet, you know. We got 2 more games to win, and we'll be cutting the nets down in Atlanta. And that's just our approach, and they know that's how I feel about it. We pushed this hard to get in the position we in. We got the #1 overall seed in the tournament. We knocked off NCAA, we knocked off Colorado State, knocked off your Duke. Every obstacle that they done put in front of us, we done faced, and we handled it like pros, honestly. And those guys, you know, they're just some of the greatest guys in the world, you know. Coach P, like, that's my third dad, you know. He's really matured me on an entire another level. It's more than just basketball. And he's really got that through to me that if I never played basketball again, it wouldn't matter. I would still always be his son. He's still going to help me however he can.
How has this incident impacted your relationship with him? Because I can sense it was tight before, but how has this changed your relationship with Coach Pitino?
It kind of opened me up more to him, you know. I'm not one of those guys where I really tend to express a lot of emotion, but just seeing how he was there for me and seeing Coach cry, you know, that's not something you really see a lot, you know. But just seeing how he cares, it really showed me, like, he's really there for you. And I knew it before, and just him taking the time out to really sit down and talk to me and staying in Indianapolis with me when the team went back, it just shows that when people care about you, you really know, you know. And I love him to death, you know. I'm gonna be happy to play for him next season.
Shane, I think, at one point You said the you two guys were sort of like peanut butter and jelly. What'd you think about him wearing your jersey around? You've seen that video?
Yeah, I've seen the pictures. I've seen the
He
video.
doesn't look as good as you do.
Nah, not as close. You know, he's too big. You know, but nah, that's really it to it. Shane has always been there for me. You know, and if there's one guy that I knew felt it the most, and I was looking forward to seeing the most, it'd definitely be Shane. You know. They'll tell you, like, as soon as we saw each other, it was kind of like the tear just came down, you know. I was laying in there, and he just saw me, started crying, you know, because we just got that kind of connection. It's like a bond where it'll never be broken, you know. I honestly could say that it's more, I've had a lot of teammates and played on a lot of different teams, but Shane is like the opposite, the exact opposite of me, you know. And that's one guy, like, I'll do anything for, you know. That just sums it all up.
When you came out of surgery and they told you they wanted you to get up, what was the moment like when you first tried to stand up on the crutches?
I was excited, honestly, you know. Just how the situation came about with my leg being broke, and I never thought the next day I'll be able to stand on crutches, you know. And they'll tell you every chance I've been getting, I've been trying to walk, and I've been trying to do the exercises that Fred has been telling me to do, and just all the things that get me back going, because this is just one obstacle that can't keep me down, you know. I can't let this just be something that keeps me down, and I gotta keep a steady head and keep good spirits, you know, because it's just a test, honestly, and God takes you through certain things in life that He matures you for, and this is just one of those things that I'm gonna have to face, and when the time comes, I'll be right back on the court.
I've been following you on Twitter. You've been very open about you've tweeted some pictures. You've been very inspirational. Why do you think that you've been so open about facing this struggle?
Because I've seen all the people there for me, you know. It was shocking, just some of the guys that reached out to me, along with all of the support I've been getting from people that I've just been here for a day, you know. And everybody really cares, and just to see that many people care about you, it just shows that they're really interested and they understand your true character, honestly. And I'm gonna keep reaching out, you know, to as many people as I can, because at this point they deserve it. They're backing me up, so a conversation or a couple words or a phone call or anything, whatever they need to just get that boost, you know. And I know my situation isn't the worst. I know a lot of guys have been paralyzed from same kind of accidents, you know. I'm not the same, but similar situations, and I just want to say that I'm truly blessed, and I'm lost for words with just the situation.
Whose reaction has surprised you the most? That you got a was it a message or a phone call or text or a tweet?
There's been so many people reaching out to me, honestly. Like Kobe reached out to me, Kevin Durant did, Charles Barkley, Kenny Smith, a lot of guys that I really looked up to, you know, just me being on the basketball level, and Jesse Jackson's called a numerous amount of times. And it's just big to see that a lot of people care about you, you know, and I just want to thank all of them, because with their support has really got me going, like got me wanting to get back on the court, got me wanting to push again and just be the same player that I was before this injury.
Does it ever feel like it's not happening to you, that you're sort of watching this happen?
I kind of accepted it, you know, but it'll never be something. It's never something I expected. I can honestly say that. I would never thought I'd see the day that I'll be in this media spotlight, because I'm not that kind of guy, honestly. I'm just one of those quiet kind of guys where I just want to get the job done, really. I've always been like that.
A lot of people obviously have been inspired, and, you know, devastated for you, but inspired by you. And you've handled this with grace, and a lot of people have reached out. But at the times when you've sort of been, you know, by yourself or thinking, What's the biggest concern for you right now?
My full recovery, I want to say. Just when I'm by myself, just really just looking at my leg, like, I've never been seriously injured outside of me breaking my hand. It was just kind of like, I had to really just ask myself, like, is this a test? Or like, is this supposed to happen? Like, what's the meaning behind it? But everything happens for a reason, like I've always told myself, you know, and sooner or later I'll find out, you know. But I kind of feel like this is just an obstacle. It's not something that's going to keep me down for long.